President Trump on his way back from the summit in Singapore. But what about the deal he is bringing back with him? Sure, it was a photo op for the ages, something no other president chose to do. Yes, talking face to face is better than threatening it is. But will Kim Jong Un ever really give up his nuclear weapons? Even President Trump doesn't seem 100% certain what all this will amount to.
I may be wrong. I mean, I may stand before you in 6 months and say, hey, I was wrong. I don't know that I'll ever admit that, but I'll find some kind of an excuse.
And is it any surprise that the president, who thinks of himself as, above all, a showman, would pitch his message with a movie trailer style video, one created by the National Security Council?
Two leaders, one destiny. A story about a special moment in time when a man is presented with one chance that may never be repeated. What will he choose? To show vision and leadership? Or not?
Let's bring in now Republican strategist John Brabender, CNN political analyst Ryan Lizza, and propaganda expert Kevin Kosar, Vice President of Policy at the R Street Institute. So glad to have all of you on. So Kevin, since you're the propaganda expert here, let's talk to you first. What is your reaction to this Hollywood-style pitch to North Korea? Is this old-fashioned propaganda, or is it smart persuasion, maybe?
It was strange, to be honest. I've never seen anything like this in a diplomatic setting. And I can't tell whether the president is crazy or crazy like a fox. This film was really something because the whole thing seemed to be playing on the vanity of Kim Jong Un. I mean, it emphasized that there are very few world historical actors amongst the billions of people who are on this earth, and that he had the moment to make a choice to make himself a man of history. It dangled this beautiful vision of what his country could become. Again, I've never seen anything like this. And yeah, it was clearly propaganda aimed at persuading the North Korean dictator.
But I think the question is, did it work? All right, before you answer that, let's just play a little bit more of this movie.
A new world can begin today. One of friendship, respect, and goodwill. Be part of that world, where the doors of opportunity are ready to be opened. Investment from around the world, where you can have medical breakthroughs, an abundance of resources, innovative technology, and new discoveries. What if? Can history be changed? Will the world embrace this change? And when could this moment in history begin? It comes down to a choice. On this day, in this time, at this moment, the world will be watching, listening, anticipating, hoping. Will this leader choose to advance his country and be part of a new world? Be the hero of his people? Will he shake the hand of peace and enjoy prosperity like he has never seen? A great life or more isolation? Which path will be chosen?
So I'll take the boat and the water slide. I mean, my goodness. But that just seems odd. Has this ever played at a summit? Have you ever heard of that?
Well, I haven't, but I think everybody's missing the big story, because I think the president said he played this as a cassette on his iPad or something like that. So this was a strange way to announce the new retro iPad out there. But no, the truth of the matter is you have to separate the video from the narrative, because they're two different, or the execution from the narrative. The narrative of what he's done in this whole thing actually was pretty smart. What he did is he didn't do like we did in Iran and make the mistake that say, basically you slow down your nuclear process and we'll give you all sorts of money. He played to the sort of arrogance to some degree, or the insecurities. The vanity of the North Korean leader, and said, look, this is a moment in history. You can make your mark. You can make your destiny.
From a video, John?
Well, look, if it was two of them sitting there and he said, look, here's something I want to show you about what your country can be. If I was advising the president, or if he had called me and I'd looked twice, he has not this afternoon, I would have advised him to not then make it public, because then it goes to a PR campaign once you make it public.
Okay, Brian, I'm looking for you to be, you got two voices on either side of this. Was this smart? Maybe it was, I don't know.
I mean, look, I think it was strange, and I think the power of a propaganda video like that is extremely overrated. And if the president believes that a video like that could persuade the leader of North Korea to make a fundamental decision about whether he needs nuclear weapons for his regime to survive or not, I think that's worrying. Look, I think on the plus side of this summit, we ratcheted down the really, really frightening rhetoric of a year ago, when it seemed like we were closer to hostilities than ever before with North Korea, at least since the war. On the downside, though, it doesn't seem like this summit was well thought out in terms of what we were gaining while giving up quite a bit. I mean, you can't get back what we gave, right? No president, American president, for a reason, gave Kim or his predecessors this kind of world stage to be on par with an American president. We can't get that back.
You're giving big picture. Can I just stick to this video? Because I kept that. I thought I was watching
it was
like
absurd.
a cheesy, like in a world gone mad where only Kim Jong Un
but
can save
the
it.
idea that that's going to hearing over and over again, though. People are saying, this is not how President Obama or President Bush would have done it. Why doesn't everybody just understand it's never going to happen that way? This is a different time with a different style by the president. But
that's not.
have to.
Maybe that's what they're saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just questioning someone who is the leader of the free world, and to have staffers. This was produced by staffers on the National Security Council. The NSC is a very high-level group. They include people like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dunford, Secretary of State Pompeo, Defense Secretary Mattis, and others when appropriate. So I'm just surprised that people of this stature would produce something that is so ridiculous. I mean,
well, but again, this
even if it was done by their staffers, they would allow it to be played.
You have to sit there and say, despite all the sort of non-traditional way Donald Trump does things, he did get North Korea to the table.
No, I'm not saying Donald Trump did this.
I know that.
I'm saying the staffers.
But I'll
John,
tell you what,
getting North Korea to the table.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Let him finish. Let him finish, Ryan.
Well, I was going to say he was very proud of this. I mean, to him, this was a pitch book. This is going back
I'm
to
just saying, John, aren't they smarter than that?
Well, first of all, they're not the boss. So let's put this in perspective as well. That video would not have appeared and been public if Donald Trump did not want it to be public.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Look, like anyone else, we all hope that this look, it's always better to talk, right? It's better that these guys are talking rather than what was going on last year. And everyone has to hope that this leads to some kind of breakthrough. But I don't see how. It seems like the thing that was prepared more than anything else was this video. We didn't have any tangible gains in this meeting. I mean, Kim agreed to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, something he first agreed to, or his predecessors agreed to in 1992. So, the idea that it seems like from all of what's been public, the most preparation at this summit, more work went into a video to show him than anything else. Okay. And if that's our whole strategy, we're in some trouble.
All right, so but maybe, look, it could have been smart. Kim Jong Un's father, a movie buff, and as we know, he loves pop culture. I mean, this movie-style video actually could be effective in winning over Kim. What do you think, Kevin? Because I would want to move to that place. It looked beautiful to me.
The horses running on the water, that did look kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say because Kim is a black box. I mean, there's so little intelligence on how this guy thinks. He's been brought up in this bizarro world. And it's just, who knows if he's going to be the least bit persuaded by this or if he's just going to turn around and punk Donald Trump. I mean, I think the thing that I thought was really odd about the video, other than its mere existence, was that it wasn't just focusing on denuclearization, which was the subject of what the agreement was. It was talking about complete westernization of North Korea. And I think if history's shown anything, it's that very rarely do communist dictators just liberalize, open up the country for investment, start building hotels, and, gently let go of power.
Yeah, but
they tend not to do that. And Kim himself is he's living pretty large. I mean, if he wants cognac, if he wants videos, if he wants Dennis Rodman to come, he snaps his fingers and he gets it. So it's not clear how much he would gain other than the image as a world historical actor. But maybe that'll prove compelling to him.
But wasn't that a big part of the video, was to make the point that this is a generational shift for North Korea? And we do have somebody who is an NBA fan. In fact, actually, this video sounded like something the Chicago Bulls might come out to.
A new world can begin today, one of friendship, respect, and goodwill. Be part of that world where the doors of opportunity are ready to be opened. Investment from around the world where you can have medical breakthroughs and abundance of resources.
It looked like some of the leftovers on the cutting room floor for the pitch for Trump University. I mean, it was this literally this kind of join, like a multi-level marketing scam or something. Join the program. This is what you get. And look, if we take it seriously, right? If this is what Trump presented to Kim, rather than a sort of clear, detailed piece of writing or letter saying do X, Y, and Z, and you will get A, B, and C. I mean, what is he saying in that video, right? He's basically saying, choose this path or else, right? That's the sort of subtle or maybe not so subtle message there.
All of that they mentioned, though, is not part of a dictatorship. Remember, because there are so many people, there are millions of people who are starving in North Korea.
Well, the video itself clearly uses like images from the propaganda arm of the regime.
Yeah, well, it sounds a little L. Ron Hubbard to me, the video. But listen, I just take a listen real quick at President Trump said about North Korea after the summit.
They have great beaches. You see that whenever they're exploding their cannons into the ocean, right? So I said, boy, look at that. Wouldn't that make a great condo behind? And I explained, I said, instead of doing that, you could have the best hotels in the world right there. Think of it from a real estate perspective.
No, so beach condos, I mean, listen, maybe to John's point, maybe that is a priority for Kim. I don't know.
I mean, look, it's absurd, right? The American president talking about beaches and condos. But to give him a very big benefit of the doubt, what he's saying, he is trying to make this case that opening up to the world will be beneficial to North Korea, right? He's trying to make the case that he has a decision to make here, truly go down the path of denuclearization, and it will bring a lot of benefits to his regime.